Welcome back to the show. As you know, I'm a huge fan of live theater. I grew up just performing and writing, and it's so nice to see so many back. And I mentioned off the top of the show, ITR Theatre celebrating a huge anniversary this year, their 50th anniversary. Here to tell us more is Len Trembley. He is a director and set designer over there at ITR. Welcome.
Thank you.
Great to have you here, Len. 50 years. I mean, what a great accomplishment for a volunteer theater company, Len.
It's amazing to stick around that long, and I've been with other theater groups, some of which were absolutely brand new.
Right.
We were actually involved in starting a theater group out in Manitoba.
Okay.
So because we moved out there and there was no theater.
Right.
What are we going to do?
I love it. Yeah, so what attracted you to theater? Has it always been a part of your life, Len?
I've always loved theater. I've always gone to places like Stratford and.
Oh, come on in
Toronto.
here. Yeah, just walk in. Yeah, don't be shy, Simon. There we go. I guess we're having a little bit of an audio issue, so if you don't mind,
Well,
we'll
that's in theater you got to project. You can't use one of these.
exactly right. That's exactly right.
But what attracted me to being involved in theater was that experience out in Manitoba, in a little town called Carberry. My wife was involved with the Arts Center, and she came home one night and said, "If we start a theater group, would you act in it?" I said, "Yes."
Nice.
And that was in the mid-'80s.
So you've done a little bit of everything then, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because as I said off the top, your title, you're set designer, director, so you've acted in theater as well. Tell me about those roles, though, set designer and director.
Well,
how would you describe those?
The reason I'm doing this in this one is because I'm getting too old for the physical stuff that's in the play.
Really? Nice.
So I'm directing it. The director really has an overall vision of the play.
Right.
What do you want that play to do? There's a script that bases some of it.
Right.
But you also, your own personality bases some of it. The cast that you get bases some of it. So you help that cast understand your vision. You help that cast develop their characters based on that vision. And then you work them through it.
Right.
And I've been blessed with this one. This is an excellent cast. So it's really been quite easy, and we've been able to collaborate through it. So, hey, what if we tried this? What if we tried that? And, it's been fun. The set designer side, I've done quite a bit of that as well.
Okay.
And in a lot of cases, it's just trying to make the set fit the theater. Like in Osgood, there is a stage that has hard-walled sides, like what you've got here sort of thing.
Yeah.
And we've got to put a set in there that's got exits and entrances and everything else. And it's a bit of a challenge. But this one is a technical challenge. This play, I know the play because I saw it in the West End in London.
Well, this is great because you and I were just talking off air, and you and I were both saying how much we love comedies,
Yes.
right? And
Yeah.
this is a comedy you said that stands out to you above many others,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
How would you describe it?
Well, it's essentially it's about a community theatre group in England putting on a play that's called Murder at Havisham Manor.
Okay.
And it's kind of an accumulation of all the things that might go wrong when you're putting a play on.
Right.
And after the number of years I've been in, I've got a few stories of my own that I could tell.
You can imagine.
Yeah, but it really is it's nice timing for doing it with the 50th anniversary. It fits right in.
Right.
But it's an extremely funny play. There's so much that happens in it. I'm not going to tell you anything that happens because I don't want to spoil the fun.
Right. But a lot of physical comedy, I imagine, right? Because you were just
a lot of physical comedy, a lot of stuff with the set. A lot of actors sometimes screw up their lines.
yeah. And talk about that because I would describe it to everybody at home as it's kind of a play within the play. So
exactly.
is that tricky then for the actors and tricky as a director as well in certain ways?
This is interesting because there's a lot of other plays within plays around that are very good.
Right.
But in those plays, typically the actors actually do two characters.
Right.
They do the character that is the actor and the character that is the character.
Yes.
In the play. This one, there's only one person that you see that's not just their character in the play.
Okay.
The person that is, quote, the director of Haversham Manor is comes out and does a speech at the start to talk about the Cornley Polytechnic group, which is who's putting it on.
Okay.
And talks about some of the challenges they've had in the past, which sets the play up well because it's funny as anything.
I love it.
It's funny as anything.
Something else is really neat that you're doing is on that first Saturday, I believe it's May the 6th, you're doing a dinner theater,
That's
right?
correct. Yeah, and that's been a tradition with ITR for quite a few years. This is now our third play since the pandemic shut us down.
Right.
And we didn't put it on for the first one. We did one weekend last time. We're doing one weekend this time.
Okay.
But as time goes on, we'll probably go back to having it both Saturdays.
Oh, nice.
And it's really nice. We have the mission is catering
Yeah,
it.
Chef Rick over there at the Mission.
Chef
That's
Rick,
wonderful.
Yeah. And we're only doing it for the one Saturday because there's still people that are nervous about going out.
Of course.
So they don't really. We don't get that many coming out to it.
Do you still have the uniqueness, though, of the table sitting, right?
Yeah,
to watch?
All shows you're at a reserved table. You're not at a reserved seat in the table, but you are at a reserved table.
Right.
So I will say, get your tickets early so you get better seats.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that makes it, it just makes it so intimate, right? Being in that space.
Yeah.
Really appreciate the time, Len. I'll remind everybody at home, the one-act play that goes wrong at the Osgood Community Center. That's May 5th, 6th, and 7th, and May 12th, 13th, 14th. Get your tickets online. We'll be right back.